30th of June at 5:38 p.m. doing this video just to show you what absolute perseverance looks like. So this is called being a perfectionist, but it does pay off. So basically this wall here, I've actually painted twice, but each time I've painted it, I could see the plastering job underneath had marks. I could see the dents in the paint, and so after the first time I painted, I sanded it back and replastered those bits, and then I repainted again last night, so it's the second coat, and then I realised nah, there was just everywhere. So you can see that was a dent there, that was a dent in the thing, that was a dent. So everywhere we see white, every single, so I've actually had to do the whole wall again with plaster. I've had to do the whole wall again. Now, the reason is, can you see this shape here? Basically everywhere where you can see white plaster, okay, basically that's where there was a dent in the paint. So what I've basically done is I've just gone over the whole wall again, like the whole wall. I've covered every single part of the wall. You can see like areas like and so basically, you know, basically all these holes are now covered. They're properly covered. They've been sanded back, filled up again with plaster. You can see everywhere. All right, so all of those holes everywhere, like these big ones here, everywhere you can see white. There was an indent in the paint. Okay. Now, if I had just put a third coat on top of that, you would have forevermore been able to see those indents. Okay, in certain lightings. All of it, the whole lot, everywhere you can see white. There's an indent in the paint. That was a dark blue before. So all that white, there was an indent in the paint. Reason being is when I did the plastering before I did the first coat of paint, I thought I'd done a good job of plastering because it was white. It's a really hot day today, hey. I've got the aircon on and the fan on and I'm still sweating like crazy. Basically, I just turned Vision Christian Radio. Amazing. It's a really good radio station. So basically, that first coat of plastering when I did that sanding, because I was just using the hand sander, so the second time I came onto it today, I used the really strong sanding graph to really go back underneath the two coats of paint that I'd already done, the one coat of paint, plaster, and then paint. So I basically used that really harsh one to try to take it back to even it out where I could see all the where all the gaps were, and I just went, nah, this is huge. This is absolutely huge. I'm just going to have to replaster the whole bloody wall. So I did, and you can see how many indents there were everywhere. Hey, unbelievable. So when that dries, I'm not going to sand this. There's a couple of areas where unfortunately, there's a couple of areas where I have to sand it with the light sander. Unfortunately, just a couple of areas, but overall I won't be sanding this down, but I'll be going back to the beginning where when I put the paint on, I'll do a diluted paint coat, so it really draws into the plaster. Now that first coat of that sanding that I did the first time, it wasn't thorough enough. I didn't go from top to side, top down to bottom. I didn't do every area. I was just basically looking at what looked like it needs to be sanded, but it was white plaster on white paint. So I couldn't see it. But you can actually see how much I actually missed, right? You can see in the actual plastering how many areas I didn't actually do. So yeah, I'm glad that I took that opportunity to rather than just do the third coat of paint on top of that and forevermore have imperfections, to take it back, to really level it out, and to get it to the point where when I've set lightly after I've taken the dogs for a walk and I come back, I'll very, 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 very gently sand this, very, very, very gently, and then I'll do another coat of paint, and that will be technically the first coat, and then 2 more to do after that. So I guess the point of this video, guys, ladies, is to show that if you didn't do the job right the first time, stick it out to actually fix up your problems. Don't just take shortcuts, you'll probably forever regret them, or just bloody do the job right the first time. But see, I didn't know. This is like I've learnt from trial and tribulations. I actually didn't know that the way I was sanding it that first time was going to leave so many indentations. Like there wasn't going to be a perfect job. I literally thought that as I was sanding all my plaster work down. See over here, okay, I'll give you an example, okay? Over here, and you probably can't see it, if I turn the floodlights around, you will be able to see it. So if I get the sander, right, this is what it was before, okay? So you get the little sander with the really fine, and you see, so you see there's all these bits in the sand paper. I don't know what you guys can see. So you can see, if I get my head out of the way, I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but you can actually see all these marks in the plastering, right? And so when you come along with that light sander, it actually looks like, see this one here? I'll see if you can see it. Alright, so you lightly sand that back, right? And you think you're doing a good job, right? Well, with that hand sander, unless you go from right to left, top to bottom, you do every inch, there's something that's getting missed out, okay? And then you go to paint this, and it's not a good paint job. So, now I don't know how to do this wall properly, except for, as I just said, just systematically do a circle the whole way around, from left to right, down one bit, left to right, down a bit, left to right, down, the whole way down. It's the only way I think it's going to get done properly, except for my beautiful friend Brad has this amazing thing which plasterers have, which is a plastering wand on the end of a vacuum cleaner head, and it just goes and it sucks it at the same time. So I wish I had that here. I wish I had that piece of equipment. Oh, because I've got all this wall to sand before I can paint it, all this wall to sand, all of these walls, you know, all of these walls, all of these walls, all these walls, all these walls, all of them. Oh my gosh. Oh. And I'm trying really not to get too overwhelmed. But anyways, bottom line is, I've learnt that if I don't sand properly, I'm just going to have to waste time in the future going over my paint jobs and re-sanding and re-plastering. So I've learnt I've learnt how important that sanding process is, because, you know, I should be up to the third coat of paint on that. If I'd done the plastering, sanding properly in the first place, I basically would have that painting job finished. Whereas right now I'm at beginning point, square one. But, you know, I just want to say I think it's very important to do a job properly. I was just saying, God, I bet you're proud of how diligent I am. I'm such a hard worker. I like to do things properly. I don't like I just think with painting, tiling, rendering, weeding, everything's got to be done properly. For example, when I weed, I go right down with cooch grass. I'll go as deep as I can, and I'll actually pull the roots up. Whereas I've seen people that just pull the top off of the plant, but the root's still in the bloody ground, right? So the weed's just going to grow again, like within a day. But if you pull the roots out, you've got at least a month, right? Cooch is like incredibly deep. The roots just go so deep, so you never get rid of cooch roots. It's very hard to get rid of cooch because they literally go down a metre and a bit or more further down into the ground. But yeah, I just wanted to basically comment on that job, take a video of it, and it's 5:30, so I've actually got a bit of a headache happening now. I've got major tinnitus. I'll take the doggies for a walk. See, there's Alvin sleeping, and there's Zena on the couch. See, the thing is, it's quite hot here today, and it'll be hot until about 6:30. So, no point going to the river for another hour. Anyways, also, I did do a live on Facebook today, which I tried to post onto my YouTube to discuss the court scenario that happened today. And I've had this really, really, really amazing, beautiful conversation with a dear friend of mine who was going to be here on Wednesday to help me out with whatever. I took photos of the house to show her. She goes, I don't care, Nadine, I'm going to be there to help you in whatever way, like even if it's to vacuum the floor, get the plaster off your furniture and your cupboards, even if it's to do sanding work. I'm hoping to finish before she gets here though. She goes, I'm not going to take no for an answer. I'm coming there. I'm going to come and help you clean your house. I'm going to help you make your home feel like a home. I don't want you suffering any longer. She's actually was crying for me this morning because she's so sad for my situation that I'm in. And I was quite touched by her crying. I said, just trust me that it's God's working miracles, and I'm supposed to be experiencing this to get my suffering is supposed to help me get closer to God and to help me learn this journey. So I said, try not to cry too much for me. She goes, but it's just so tragic. It's just so sad. She says, the thing that saddens me the most is I was praying for years. She was praying for my husband to open his heart to allow us to get married because she knew how much I loved my husband. She'd met him many years. She's met him many times, right? And she knew that it was this relationship that was causing me. I just want to say, excuse this singlet. It's actually a male singlet, and it's from the op shop, and it's quite disgustingly daggy. But I like when I'm working, I like to wear clothes. I don't care if they get ruined. Yeah, so she knew it was a real on and off relationship for so long, and she knew just how much I loved this guy, and she was praying for years that he would open his heart, years that he'd actually get to the point of opening his heart to marry me. And then she says, all those years I prayed for him to open his heart to marry you, and then you guys get married, and then he just go. And she goes, "I just so sad that he could do this to you, Nadina." I said, "I know," but I said, I believe God's brought me into his life to help him learn love, to help him learn what love is and what love means, because I don't really don't. The closest thing he's ever come to love is loving me. But I don't even think that's as true and deep as his. Like, he says he loves me. He never used to be able to say it at all. And he will say it, like, holding my face and kissing me and looking me deep in the eye and nearly crying as he says it. So I know he's feeling a level of love that he's never felt in his life before for anyone. At the same time, it seems to be conditional, like he can shut it off very easily. he can shut his heart off, shut his heart down to the love very, very quickly and become very cruel and ruthless and very detached, which indicates to me that the love hasn't gone completely deep. And so I do believe this experience is to help him learn love, because I still love the guy regardless of what he said and what he's done, how, you know, what's happening and how he's treating me and all that sort of stuff. Like my innate truth is that I just love the guy. I care for his well-being. I really genuinely care for his well-being. And even when I get into places of feeling disgust or like absolute revolting, like you gotta be kidding me, what a disgusting way to treat me type energy, even though I might go into that for a while, it can't and doesn't last, because it's not my truth, it's not my essence. But I have to also be careful not to make excuses for him and let him keep getting away with bad behaviour. So then I've got to be very careful about my clear boundaries. So that's why I've been really learning self-love for myself. Like I've realised I haven't loved myself completely deeply enough, or I would not have tolerated most of what's been happening, and the bad behaviour wouldn't have been able to escalate, you see. I would have held it all to account earlier, and in a really good way. Like I would have done it with good counsellors, and I would have really held the dude to account and held us to account and let our relationship soar in a really perfect way. However, back then I didn't have the skill sets and the conviction that I have now. See, now, because of this trial and tribulation, I've gone more towards God. I've been shattered to the core of my being with having to really look at myself and how I can be part of creating these certain circumstances and part of creating certain people to come into my life that keep allowing these horrible experiences to happen and all this suffering to occur and all this grief and tragedy to occur. That's when my friend was just crying, because she says so much suffering, you know. When's it, you know, she just can't bear that I'm suffering. So, and you know what I love about this friend? I don't even have to show it to her. She just knows. She just can empathise how painful it must be. So she's one of the very rare people I know in my life who actually is fully in her heart and fully has full empathy for others. She's genuinely one of my best friends for sure. I love her so much. Anyway, she's coming up on Wednesday. We're going to get this house clean. I've got to get this wall finished so I can push the fridge and the cupboard back against it, and then I'm not going to worry about dusting and getting rid of all the plaster and vacuuming, because she's going to... I don't have a vacuum cleaner, it works anyways, right? And she's going to bring up a... sorry, I've got a bit of a headache. She's going to bring up a drum vacuum cleaner that can clean up dust and doesn't ruin it. She says she'll leave it here. She's got so many. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, I'm so looking forward to her visit. And yeah, life goes on, everyone. So we've had some rain today. We've had some summer rain. It's really windy right now, and there's some grey in the sky. There might be a storm brewing, actually. It's quite beautiful, actually. Sorry, that's my injured knee. Oh, I just got to grab onto something. Very hard going up and down ladders sometimes. Oh, you can't see through there. Oh, you can smell rain. So look at can you see the wind? And the grey. We've got the black. The sky's full of black. What can you see? Oh yeah, there's the grey. The sky's full of black. See the light blue and the dark grey and the white? Yeah, and it's really interesting because it's really warm. Like there's a real humidity, warmth blown in, but it's also there's a coolness. So we've got warmth and coolness at the same time. It's quite nice actually. Can you see the breeze? Yeah, it's really nice. Anyways, yep. So, and this room is getting there. This room is really getting there. Sanded this, did some more siliconing last night. Started siliconing this particular one here. Again, it needed its second lot of silicone. building up the gap. Big gaps in there. Building up the gaps in here. Now I've got to sand that back. So that one's getting there. The plastering's had its third coat and it's all ready to be sanded. The silicon's ready to be sanded. So exciting. So this window frame is completely sanded now, except for this bit here, which I re-siliconed. And all I've got left to do is sanding back and maybe some touch-ups with silicone on the actual panes, but I think just going to be sanding. That takes ages though, and I've got to get some more sandpaper. But yeah, the windows are getting there. This room, my library, so exciting, so exciting. I already showed you, I've just got some more sanding to do for the door frames here. So exciting, it's getting there. And the kitchen's getting there. And then eventually, soon I'll do the wallpapering in the bedroom. Woohoo, it's going to look so amazing. And eventually this bathroom will be finished. Get the floor tiled. Oh, so exciting. I'm really glad my friend's coming up to help me clean up though, because look at the floor. Look at it. It's absolutely awful. See? It's awful. It's just awful. And I can't vacuum it. Do you know, with dogs and renovating, how I just can't vacuum. I've got no vacuum cleaner. So I am so happy that she's bringing the vacuum cleaner up and that she's going to leave it here with me. It's going to be nice. Looking forward to being able to keep the house clean, and it's going to be amazing. It feel like in a home again. It's getting there. Anyways, my loves, purpose of this video, perseverance. Perseverance. And do the right thing. Don't take shortcuts. That's how I feel also about my marriage. I feel like I'm not taking the shortcut of opting out and shutting down like my husband has and running away. As I said in the YouTube, the Facebook Live this morning, I might have said it in another video, which I've got a heap of videos. I'm getting a backlog of videos, and I have to work out which ones I want to put on. But anyways, what I actually said was, wife is Ezra, E-Z-E-R, Hebrew for helper, okay? That's what wife is. Wife is helper, husband's helper. And I just realised yesterday, I had an epiphany. I can be my husband's helper, even if he's run away. It made my heart sing when I realised that. I pray for him all the time, right? And I realised that's still me being a committed, devoted wife, you see. I'm still a committed, devoted wife. With sending my prayers to him, sending my love to him, praying constantly for his well-being. And then just yesterday I sent him a text with one of my prayers, and I thought, this is what I'm going to do at least once a week. Send him a text prayer. So as a committed, devoted wife, even though my husband's gone to la land, I just realised I can still be a devoted, committed wife, even when my husband chooses to run and discard and Alvin's getting keen for a run. Look at him. I'm going to tell the people on Facebook, tell the YouTube people, Alvin! What a time to be. Alvin. There's Zeta. Alvin. Say hi, peoples. Hi. I'm really keen to go for my walk along the river. Oh, I'm so keen to have a run on the river. Sit. Alvin. Okay, what I want you to see now is... Right. Zena just woke up, so he's really excited. He is a bit of a puffer. I don't like it, but he does that. So basically, Zena also just woke up, okay? And she's like, hello, I want my walk too. It's walk time. But I'm not going to take her for a walk just yet. It's still too hot. Even though Alvin's super keen, they can go out the backyard. They can go out the backyard because they have a big backyard. He's going to get rough. Anyway, outside, out. Yeah, it's funny. He gets really angsty because he's 15 months old, so he's got all his testosterone. And he's like, he loves to run and do those. He's so handsome. He does these big, he's so agile. He goes roo, up and down those banks. He does really big fast zoomings and he's quite, but see this what's happening here, right, is he really wants to play and he's gone out there to that door twice and he's going, come on Zena, come outside, because he knows he's got to go outside to play. And she's like, nah, it's too hot, I'm not going out there. And he's going, oh, but I want you to play with me. And she's going, no, it's too hot. Look at this, look at her tongue hanging out. She's like, she really can't handle the heat. I nearly lost her to death about a month and a half ago. It was so horrible. She gets over hot really quickly. Something about her, I don't know if it's because she's black or because she's got extra double layer of fur. See, Alvin's just got one small coat of fur, but Zena's got 2 coats. So I'm thinking that might be part of it. But she gets really, really, really hot. And I absolutely nearly lost her to overheat. It took me 3 hours to... It was just such a scary experience. I had to I was actually slapping her really hard with both hands on both sides of both hands. Zena, come back, like bashing into to wake her up, and she was going. You know, I was putting water on her tongue, on her nose, on her ears, on her feet. I gave her some a piece of iced mango, and it was just awful. It was just so scary, and I told a few people and rang the vet, and they all giving me. And then someone came with some electrolytes, and so I'm actually really, I keep the aircon on for her. I keep the aircon on for Zena in the car and in the house. And but you can see with how much she got her tongue hanging out, how bloody hot she is. It's sort of funny and sort of not. Like, she's bloody hot, the poor darling. But I'm hoping as she gets older, she can start handling the heat a bit better. Alvin seems to be fine with the heat. He doesn't seem to be that perturbed by it. Yeah, but Zena, I don't want to ever risk losing her again, hey. That's so frightening. Now, so this is already dry. I can pretty much almost sand that, but I'm not going to. I'll just make sure every bit's properly dry. Even though it's such a thin coat, and it's such a hot day, it probably is dry. Anyways, peoples, yep, that's it. Perseverance and trust and, yep. Work out, like I come with that idea, I'll do one more coat, but I'll do it really hard and thin. So it worked really hard. I was like going, like dragging this thing here. I was dragging it really hard across the wall to really squish it into the wall to make sure hardly any plaster was on the wall. And I was only in the cracks, only in the dents that it was filling in. So that was actually physically very hard work. I was like, making so many noises. I was actually making so many noises that the animals kept looking up, going, what's going on? I said, well, hard work. It's quite hard work being a human sometimes. You two have it easy being dogs. Anyways, I love them so much. Oh, yeah, there they are, the cute little darlings. So, anyways, that's it for my rant for the moment. I'll probably do a video when we're down the river just for fun. I don't know. And tonight I'll probably upload some of my videos onto YouTube. It's about time. And thank you. Thank you for listening to my rants. Hope you've learned something from it. Seriously. It's about perseverance, determination, learning. We can all learn from each other. We've all got so much to learn from each other, right? So why not learn from each other? So we'll just talk to you something about plastering. Do it right the first time. No, sanding the plaster. Do it right the first time. But even more than that, do the coat, the first coat, plaster the first time. Obviously my plastering was a shit job if there's that many indents, right? So obviously I wasn't doing enough feathering, but it's all part of learning, okay? It's all part of learning. And my builder friend Brad said plastering is really hard, Nadine. When I told him about the sanding thing, he said, no, trust me, plastering is really hard. Like, it's not easy. So guys, ladies, if you pay someone to plaster for you or paint for you, please don't underestimate how hard it tastes, and please pay them what they charge you because they deserve it, okay? Anyway, leave it at that. Mwah. Keep well. Lots of love. Bye. God bless.